Shocker has been nerfed prior to release, but there is a reason behind it. Update on the missing rewards from chess and this safe issue. Speaking of the safes, can you brute force yourself into Zone 3? We're going to look into that. And good news for those who like Relics. All 10 of you. I kid, it's 15 of you. Oh, hi.
Hello, and welcome to Deadpool TV.
Yeah.
So, Bob, tell me, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
I would fart fire from my anus.
Interesting. And what repercussions do you think that will have on the upcoming special election?
Alright, okay, didn't give me a chance to speak then.
And would you say that's good for the average working class family? As if I care.
Oh, if you don't care then... Right. Well, better go on with the show.
That's one of an answer. How about we bring in your sister and see what she thinks? Wow.
Dude, you did bring my sister into this, you bastard!
You said it. And that's all we have time for today on DPTV, where we always go deep.
Well, that was the thing. Now, before we get into the show, and to keep up to date with all the Marvel Contest of Champions news as it happens on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, then indeed hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit notifications on all, follow on social medias. I got a Twitter, I've got a Discord, as they say in America. But now let's kick off the show with this. Kabam are forcing relics upon you. Not the first time, won't be the last time. If you've seen in recent kind of mail, you can play them in story mode and do the things with the swipes and the clicking of the spirit gauge, do the striker that comes out. You can do those things. But there's been a few kind of developments. I don't know if you've seen this. First of all, that Relic Unbind costs have been removed, which is great because they were going to cost units. Another encouragement for you to use relics a bit more in your lives. The other thing that's kind of interesting is that if you've seen in the story mode, you can use them in story mode, but the event quest side of things, you see this. Spiritualism, power gain rate is reduced by 90%, activating a striker grants the attacker 40% of their max power, ignoring ability power rate modification, and free spirited, the attacker spirit gauge rate is increased 100%. I've got a video coming out in the weekend about this that goes into this a bit more detail, especially how this kind of, well, it feels like relics are forced upon you. It is to a degree, because it's like Kabam going, do you know what, we're going to back this particular thing that we were like, oh, it's going to have limited use, and all of a sudden it's going to have more wider use. So, which they were like, I think they did say that they were going to like slowly put it into different areas, but it's going to be more of a requirement than a necessity, I feel, down the line. But in case, what are your thoughts on relics? Do you feel that they are taking a bit more of a stronger presence to be forced upon you than you would like, or are you happy with how they're being integrated? Your thoughts in the comments. And now let's move on to Shocker, and no shock that he has been pre-nerfed or pre-release being nerfed. Now, there's a lot to explain with this, because I think there was a lot of hoop-la-di-da that was kind of made of this yesterday, and there's a lot of kind of like incorrect information that needs correcting. So let's get into this, okay? So a lot of people were very wary yesterday because they saw some number comparisons, especially when they're seeing stuff like this, you know, oh, 323,419 damage, or they're seeing higher numbers as well, just to see that when a champion is released, that it's not exactly hitting that particular mark. Also, there's been multiple videos from different people kind of going, oh, this is a nerf, this is a scary nerf, it's already been nerfed. So that's the question, isn't it? Like, what Kabam put out in a deep dive versus what they put in the release, and is it fair to advertise? Are they advertising in a deep dive and then makes you go, oh, I want this champion, only to then kind of go, right, well, get the champion, it doesn't do as much damage, oh no, I've spent money. And that's the thing, people are kind of concerned about this element here of going like, I'm curious about anyone's opinion on this. Should I spend $50 for Shocker or wait to see if he gets nerfed? So yeah, it's like, it's up to you whether or not you want to spend on the game. And as well, there's a few damage comparisons as to like, you know, what you're seeing in certain breakdowns of kind of damage. Oh right, so we could do 550k there in a deep dive, and then actually does 252. Do bear in mind, and this is the point we need to get to here, is that there was something that content creators, especially if the CCP people that were posting videos after a certain date. Now, I did a video yesterday, but the champion had already been theoretically nerfed. They were meant to mention that there was a damage scaling bug. Kabam's note, which they were hoping was going to be kind of explained out when people were doing the CCP coverage. Now, for my video, it was after this had been kind of changed, but there was a bug where heavy charges were taking modified attack into account instead of base. The final thing to say on this is that yeah, obviously it's not good. It's something that I feel that if Kabam used, I mean, look, the decisions are, when do Kabam make the nerf? Do they do the nerf pre-release before it goes out, or do they do it after you've spent your money and been very disappointed, or when you've, you know, obviously we get the rebalance system in place? I would say it would be advantageous for Kabam when they're putting pre-release bundles out and with the messaging game is to maybe take that down, wait another day, and then what they'll do with it is then put a message that says FYI, since the release of these pre-release bundles, we have made sure that the heavy charges, a bug was kind of fixed, and explain it. And then what that does, it means that you have read it, you have understood it, and a forum thread post as well, just again to let people know what's happened with the champion, just so that when they're spending their money, then they're not feeling disappointed when people are putting out videos saying, oh, by the way, the champion's been pre-nerfed or been nerfed at a certain point. So I think it's always good to have that level of communication and ready for people, because people are spending money, and that's a very, very important thing. If you're spending money, you want to know that you're getting something of value and something that's been nerfed at the point of release. Now we've got a two-parter on our hands when it comes to Sinister Vaults. Let's face it, Sinister Vaults have been the confusion that we didn't really need in our lives, and there's always a lot of things that need to go over this. I didn't do a spreadsheet this month. That's normally like a guide spreadsheet, which I normally produce, and I'm going to be working on one today that's going to be it's going to cover a lot of things. So look out for that one. Probably a video, second video today, later on today about that one. But we're going to be talking about Sinister Vaults. The part one to this one is all about a thing that happened with Wednesday, and that is the loss of safes, because that happened. That's very real, that happened. And also I think loss of rewards in some sort of capacity. I can't remember if this happened to me when I didn't get the rewards but got the safe. I really can't remember. I'll have to review back that video, but fingers crossed for Kabam to sort out my my rewards if they're not there. And the same thing with other people. At the moment, the support is not being very helpful on the matter. So, as it says here from this particular ticket, I understand that you are concerned about not receiving the Sinister safe from the Sinister Vaults event quest on the second time. After a careful review, your account progress have confirmed the requirement for obtaining the rewards you mentioned was fulfilled. You have also verified all rewards associated with the path were correctly added to your account. But this person saying, well, I still haven't got it. You're saying I should have had it, but I don't. That's the thing, because look, the screenshot shows they didn't get anything, and that further screenshot shows they didn't get anything. So it's like there's lots of people. I mean, it's a different person, but you know what I mean. Like there's just plenty of evidence to show that people aren't getting stuff from that bug that was on Wednesday. In any case, as of yesterday, this was the update on that particular situation. We're aware of some of you that did not receive Sinister Vaults from the appropriate path. We'll be sending them out to the impacted accounts as soon as we're able to collect the necessary back-end information. Support likely hadn't received appropriate information yet, and thus sent the above response. I'm not sure of the timeline just yet, but it should be soon. So yeah, there's still stuff that's meant to go out to your accounts. There's obviously an issue still with that one. Time frame's difficult, and this is the thing, as other people are just getting on with kind of like what's going to be the part two to this particular story that we're going to cover, people are chomping at the bit for kind of like getting into these zones, getting stuff and stuff like that, and also cracking these codes, which is been a bit of a bane on everyone's lives. Now, sticking with Sinister Vaults, and the part two to this is all about, I don't know really how to describe this, so I'll go with one of the titles, which is brute forcing your way to a new zone. Right, interesting topic right now. So if you haven't seen the link to this, I'll put it in the description, which is Cat Murdoch's amazing infographic, and it showcases that there is a vault on the Catalyst path with Ronan, with Diablo, and with a Sinister 6 member, right? And that particular safe on Zone 2 is going to then give you access to Zone 3. Now, here's the thing. the process and thought process around brute forcing it. Look, the scheme of the quest is that each and every week you're going to get objectives that will give you clues. The clues will lead to getting these little pieces of art. The art will be something like you'll see 3 units on here, and it's all units of the 6, or like it's units of the 4, and then it's like 2 others have like mystic kind of eyes, which basically means if it's got units, that's going to be the 4-digit code, in theory, right? But you don't have to, in theory, wait a week in order to get those particular coordinates, clues, artwork, because you might be able to brute force it. What are you talking about, Richard? Well, as a lot of you know, people are looking to grab the next safe. And for people that have gone and picked up that next safe, as you can see here, crack the code to claim a Sinister Vault Zone 3 pass. As you know, you crack the code of the safe from one zone, it allows you into the next zone. Now, the theory being played out is the following, which is that you can brute force it without having to wait. But would you really want to? I mean, this turns into some kind of safe cracker based stuff, and it's like, what the hell are we doing here? Even when like people are coming up with suggestions of doing it, even Jack's saying, I hadn't considered this, with enough organisation and planning and alliance, could brute force the combination for the second safe without finishing any of the objective challenge extended. So this will be interesting whether or not anybody is willing to, a collective are willing to do this. And this is the thing, how kind of like far it goes here. Even Captain Megasource is literally putting the algorithm together, the breakdown of how to come up with any kind of logical I mean, look, if you wanted to do it, you may be able to do it. Are there going to be duplication of numbers in the sequence? Maybe. Are you willing to sit down and type in all of this stuff? I can imagine some people might. The thing is, I do not know, and I do not know whether or not I'd be willing to kind of. Was it wasteful time? I don't know. I think I'd be happy to wait a week, but if you wanted to have out with any kind of like guess of it. And the reason is that people have kind of got 2 numbers, that number being digit 2 and 8, and the sequence being that one is at the start and one is at the end. But I don't know if this is something that kind of goes with the clues. The thing is, I don't know whether or not these here, these 2 and 8, which have these ones here have not expired. These have not expired. Actually, number 1 is not expired as well. So it's like I don't know if these were meant. No, these weren't meant to expire. But sorry, the point I should get to is the 2 and 8. The 2 and 8 are these 2 ones here. But it's a Zone 1 Sinister hint. So I don't know. I really don't know if people are kind of like guessing right, guessing wrong. I would say with this one, the best thing to do with all of this is to just wait until Wednesday. Look, if you don't have to, but I would say like, just don't let this game live in your brain rent free. Okay, it shouldn't do that. A game like this should just be about fun, being casual. Yes, okay, being challenging in some places, but at the same time, if you're doing that level of complexity, right? There's no $50 million, £50 million, €50 million at the end of that in that actual safe. So you could maybe wait a little while until it's revealed, which people will get it I'll get it on Wednesday of next week when the new objectives go live. So I think it's going to be okay. And I just want to end the show on this. A bit of good news, and as well a nice wholesome thing, and well done to Kabam. This was really nice to see. So Subpar Summoner, Pastor Coco, which you can find on Twitter, said, you have the right to say negative things about Kabam and the Marvel Contest Champions team if you want, because it is your right. But they sent me this box of stuff for sharing about how the community helped me through chemo. And I'm sitting here sobbing right now, and how kind they are. And this was lovely. This was a nice little gift sent to Subpar Summoner, and it's lovely because it's like, it's a nice book. Marvel, that's nice actually, by the way. Is that 2015? I think that's a 2015 print. That's nice. That's a rarity as well. And a guillotine. Yep, got that behind me. It's nice. All this stuff is nice. Actually, I've got the Battle Roman Beyond book there. yeah, it's lovely to see this. So well done, Kabam, for sending this out, and it's nice to see it. So I thought I'd kind of end on something nice, positive, and wholesome, seeing you into your Easter weekend. And yes, that has been the show. Thank you very much to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a patron. You're on screen right now. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I'm hoping to live stream today. Got a few things that happened yesterday, so a lot of things have been delayed. We still sort some house stuff out, yeah, the next video might be a video about the side quest. I want to do this really in-depth spreadsheet on the matter. And finally, check out some other content which will be located on screen now. Look at that. Look at that content that's there. Oh, shiny content, children. Yes. Much love. See you all soon. Bye-bye.